Yo, what's going on YouTube? Plumpy Man here. Just doing a little update on my Ruger 1022. I traded the other day, as you can see right here, for a Bushnell 3x9 by 40 scope. I ended up trading like a couple packs of ammo off a buddy for it. I needed one for the 1022 anyway, so that was awesome. Got one relatively cheap. And I went ahead, I picked this up off a buddy. When I first got it, he had Herculiner that like you put in the back of a bed of a truck all over it. Like the whole thing was painted and coated in it. So I sanded every bit of that off and refinished the whole gun. Sanded it down. Started with 80, moved to like 200, then went to 400, then stopped at 600. Sanded it all down, refinished the whole thing. The guy that had it before me did bed the right here where the trigger guard goes and stuff, so there is no movement. It sits in there pretty solid. It's not been free floated or nothing, but I like it a lot better than the factory stock. I think it looks a lot better, plus it was a little project for me to do. The other little thing I did was today I went by the hardware store and picked up some 1/4 inch nylon tubing, as you can see here, and 1/8 inch. This is just 1/8 inch copper ground rod. They didn't have any of the 1/8 inch like steel or aluminum or even brass at the hardware store I went, but they had this. And actually I did find one 1/8 inch dowel rod, but it was real loose inside the tubing. This is supposed to be 1/4 inch outside diameter, inside diameter is 1/8 inch. And what I'm doing here is I replaced the factory buffer, because it's supposed to help with the life of it and quiet it down. When your bolt here slams back, it actually hits it's aluminum and it hits a steel buffer pin, this right here. Well, you can replace it, and to buy one is like, I don't know, $10-15, sometimes $20, but to get the exact same thing off of Kid, whatever, guy that does all kinds of stuff for 1022 stuff, is like 15 bucks. Well, for like, I think I paid 35 cents for 2 foot of this, and I think this was like 50 cents for a couple feet of this. So you can make, I don't know, probably 20 out of that for under $1. And it's pretty simple. All you do is you take I just took a hole punch, knock these 2 pins out, which removes your whole trigger guard, and then the pins are here. I'd already had it removed. And then what you do is, you can see the buffer here, it's already in. If I can get this to focus. I just took the tubing, stuck it through in here, just stuck it through both sides. Then what I did is leveled it up on both sides and took a razor blade and just cut it flush to where it was perfectly cut flush. I took a piece of the 1/8 inch copper line, and what I did was take a little hacksaw blade right here, as a matter of fact, and chop off, I think it's like 1.5 inches. Took it out to the grinder, ground off both ends, and smoothed it out to where it would be very rough. Slapped it in there. It didn't take, I don't know, less than 5 minutes. And like I said, it was under $1. And this thing, if it wears out, I could just replace it. People that do it online said they last for about, I don't know, 3,000-4,000 rounds, so should be good for me. Plus it saved me a lot of money, and it was just a little project to do. But got the new Bushnell scope, new buffer recoil, and a new stock, finger groove stock. Gonna take it out, sight it in again, I guess, and let you know guys from there. So let me know what you think. Just a cheap little thing. I think it's 22 cents a foot or something like that. I don't know, 18 cents a foot, something like that, at the hardware store. 1/4 inch nylon tubing. This fit perfect. It's 1/8 inch copper ground rod is what it is. Solid core. I think it was like 50 cents, something like that. Under $1. Make your own 1022 recoil buffer. Save yourself $15-20. Let me know what you think. Thanks.